What is going on, everybody? Quancredible here to bring you the review for Eden Zero Chapter 122, which is crazy because I'm actually doing the second one. So, again, like I said, gonna be doing these, so be on the lookout for them. And if you are new to Eden Zero on my channel, please like the video as well as sub for more Eden Zero content in the future. I'm definitely got some Eden Zero theories and breakdowns coming to you in the very near future. But into the chapter for the cover page, or not cover page, but for the cover of the chapter page. I can't remember exactly what I would even call this, but we have Sister doing a portrait of Homura. It's kind of funny just because Sister can't draw at all. Like, her drawing looks absolutely horrible, and it doesn't even look like Homura. And like, Sister's very dead serious about this picture. But anyway, moving on to the actual chapter, we have more of the showdown between Weiss and Hermit with Dr. Muller, or not really a showdown, but just kind of like a stare down, I guess, at this point. And it's basically just the story's way of telling us why he's even there. Apparently, like, he blew his way out of jail and lost like 90% of his body. I mean, you could make a very strong argument that he's significantly more robot than he is human at this point, despite how he feels about robots. It's kind of weird when you think about what his overall philosophies are. But, you know, he's freaking crazy, and I hate his guts. I wish I could choke him through the screen. But anyway, Hermit is basically filling in Weiss because Weiss obviously has no idea who this guy is. But she's like, yeah, basically he's the whole reason I started hating humans. So Weiss definitely off top is not gonna like this guy at all. Very understandable. Everyone hates him. But basically he reveals that Ziggy kind of put him in charge of overseeing this whole entire server, just making sure that the virus goes off smoothly or whatever. And then in return he'll get to, you know, use all of the humans on that planet for his research, which his research is just going to be torturing people. So it's just crazy to really see how far Ziggy has fallen. Like, Ziggy's doing some messed up stuff down here on this planet, so it's just horrible to see. But anyway, Weiss is seemingly like I have no doubt in my mind that Weiss could handle this on his own. He realistically probably wouldn't even need his suit, but he just got caught off guard and got shocked, so he got like taken down to the floor. And so with that, it leads like Hermit to getting captured. Now, I'm not really mad at this one because, like, I mean, obviously Weiss was caught off guard, and Hermit, like, there's a lot of trauma connected to this. So it's like, I really, really do not blame her for any like hesitantness or, you know, fearfulness going into this, because I really feel for her. That whole flashback was so sad, so sad. But anyway, moving on to the next half of the chapter, uses more of the space battles as a segue leading into the other stuff, whereas the crew on actual Eden Zero can sense, or not sense, but they can see that Hermit's like mental stability is like, you know, it's kind of getting real shaky, it's getting unstable, and they all can see that it's happening with Klein. We get a small panel with my boy Jin. For any of you who don't know, which I feel like a lot of you probably wouldn't, Jin's my favorite character in Eden Zero. So anytime I get to see him, I'm immediately kind of hyped, even if it's just for a panel. But basically, Klein, she can also sense that there's a bad person around. And they must be really bad, because I feel like, I want to say this is the most emotion we've seen on Klein's face, like, ever. Especially considering her emotions were stolen away. So, yeah, there must be someone, like, horrible around. Now, initially, when I was first reading through the chapter, I assumed it was someone from the Beast One squad. I was assuming that, like, okay, this means, like, literally mid-chapter, I was like, yeah, this means that somebody from Beast One is 100% connected to Klein and Jin's backstory, and they must have did something horrible to her, which is why she's like this, or why her brother's like this. Like, there has to be some kind of reason and all that. But, like, I was very, very, very swiftly taken out of that when during the Beast One squad interaction with Shiki and Homura, this giant dude just comes down with this freaking huge fist. Like, he looks like Shiki when he went to Digilus. Like, when Shiki was like super jacked, like freaking, like, this dude really drops down like he's All Might or something.
Have no fear, students, because I am here.
And just like, no diffs, all of them in one punch. Like, it's just like they're just eliminated. And I really felt like Shiki in this like Shiki and Homura staring. I was just like, wait, what? Like, I literally went back a couple pages and had to read it again. I'm like, wait, they just get no diffs? Like, they just get clapped like that? Like, they just got took out? Like, that was Beast Squad 1? Just gone? But one of the interesting things about this guy who took them out, I do not want to spend a lot of time on him, because I realize he's probably not super important. When he like shrinks back down to like a regular size, I almost feel like he has a suit. Like I don't feel like this is a ether. Like I don't feel like this is a ether gear per se, but more like a suit possibly similar to Weiss's suit, or maybe like his ether gear could be being enhanced by his suit because he definitely has like the ether lines, like the ether gear lines on his arm and on his face. But maybe it could be something where like his suit like enhances that, or his ether gear works with his suit. Like I really feel like he could be similar to Weiss in some way, shape, or form. I could just be airballing here, but that's just possibly what I think could be going on with this guy right now. And then we see this other dude, Creed, who his ether gear's ability is to just trap people. Seems pretty broken. Obviously, there's probably some kind of limit on what or who he can or cannot trap. I'm in big doubt he could just trap Elsie in just one of these cages, but it appears he can just trap people because he just scoops up all three of them after this giant dude just like took them all out. And as I noticed at this point, these guys are part of Justice's crew because Justice literally walks right in there. So it's like it's this Justice like face off with Shiki and Homura, which is like a million times worse when you think about it, considering that like this guy is on par with Elsie. So yeah, I don't know what Shiki's going to do here. And it's funny because he says a line here where like saying that Nero hasn't deployed the oceans, saying maybe he doesn't take it that serious, or maybe the situation isn't as serious to him, referring to Nero, meaning that there is a group above the entire B squads, 1 through 6, being the oceans ranking above them. So it's not too bad that the B squad one got took out like that in that manner, because I mean, there's still a whole nother stronger squad above them, which could be interesting to see in the future, considering how much they struggle. Like I mentioned in this last chapter review, that they did struggle immensely with B Squad 6. So it'll be very interesting to see how the group will get stronger eventually to take on the oceans. Anyway, Justice's group is inquiring on who Shiki and Homura are. Obviously, the big Titan dude, I don't remember his name if it's been said in the past, but I'm gonna just call him the big Titan dude, and Creed, they're not very suspicious of Shiki and Homura, while Justice is, just because he remembers their ether readings back on Elsie's ship, which was a freaking forever ago in the story. I feel like, which just really it really goes to show how obsessed Justice is with Elsie. In addition to Shiki having the same ether as the Demon King, that is more than enough to make him suspicious to a regular person. But it's kind of crazy because the other two were kind of willing to let them go, or like it at least seems like they didn't have reason to really go after them or apprehend them at the very least. While Justice was like, no, capture the girl, and this dude has ties to Elsie, so he has more than enough reason for him to die. And it's just like, it makes me really, really want to know what could have possibly happened between them. Like, I mean, because obviously Justice and Elsie are like a parallel of Jalal and Urza from Fairy Tail, but it's like I don't think it could be anything similar to what happened to those two, like with their backstories. So it just I would love to really know what Mashima could be cooking up for these two. Now, we do get a small face-off between Shiki and Justice. Obviously, Shiki is going to be zero match for Justice. I don't even need to see the next couple chapters to know that Shiki is going to be no match for him, considering this guy is on this guy's probably more comparable to Elsie than he is to Shiki, just because he's literally going after Elsie numerous times. I mean, obviously he hasn't caught her yet, so he must be some degree weaker than she is to an extent, or else he probably would have caught her by now. The main thing that I am really pumped to see, though, is what Justice's ether gear is, because we have no idea what it is or what it could possibly be. We see in the very last panel when Shiki has like a gravity punch and he like punches Justice, he just like catches it and it like just does nothing. It almost makes me think, could he possibly have some type of like ether gear, or like ether neutralizing ether gear, or maybe he can like neutralize certain energy, or maybe energy from like one's person ether gear. But at the same time, I almost feel like him and Elsie's ether gear have to be somewhat connected. So like, I know how she can but she can draw ether energy from the planet and get a re-equip from that, but like I don't see how stopping an ether gear or cutting off one's personal ether gear could possibly connect to that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys have theories on as far as what Justice's ether gear could possibly be, because I've really been spitballing, but I don't have a solid idea yet. And that is the chapter, like I said, for the last panel. Now, like I said, for next chapter, I definitely do think we're going to get a bit of a face-off between Shiki and Justice. He's obviously going to be no match for him. As far as how that will go, I kind of feel like Elsie's going to have to step in and save him, considering they all are on the same planet at this one point in time. As far as with Weiss, Hermit, and Dr. Muller, I do think that Hermit is unfortunately going to go under some more psychological trauma dealing with Dr. Muller. He might even get off a couple torture shots, which, even though I'm personally mentally preparing myself for it, it's still going to bother me a lot. I just can't get over it. I can't. It just still bothers me. But yeah, eventually, I do think Weiss is gonna spring back into action. 'Cause after all he did was get shocked. I mean, it's freaking Weiss. He's mad cool, so he's gonna get back up. He's gonna get back up, and I don't think Weiss himself is gonna save her. I really do think Mashima may be saving this moment for Hermit herself, just for like development's sake, I guess. And you know that could be very possibly cool to see depending on how it's done. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that. Overall, I give the chapter like a 7. It was just a cool chapter. You know, it wasn't anything like, I mean, obviously with B Squad 1 getting obliterated in one shot, you know, that was kind of cool. You know, big Titan buff dude. You know, I'm kind of a meathead myself, so that kind of stuff just interests me. Let me know how you guys feel about the chapter down below. Like I said earlier, let me know what you guys think Justice's Ether Gear could possibly be, because, like I said, I don't really have an idea of what it could be, because it could be so many different things based off of that panel, or it could be a couple different things if you kind of want to like make it based off of Elsie's and their connection. So like, just let me know what you guys are thinking down below, and also what you guys thought about the chapter. Like I said, if you could please like the video as well as sub to the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. And outside of that, I have nothing else for you. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video.